ES6 introduced class, so finally in JavaScript we can design objects using a class. But class in JavaScript is just a syntax sugar. It is not a completely new object creating system. You can think of a class as a different kind of constructor function. Actually, the type of operator will regard a class as a function. There are two ways we can define a class: class declaration and class expression. To declare a class, you first type the keyword class, then you provide a class name. Just like the constructor name, you should capitalize the first letter of the class name. Then, behind the class name, you put a set of curly brackets. The class body is defined inside it. Pay attention here. Between the class name and body, there must be no parenthesis. We can see type of returns as function. Unlike the function declaration, the class declaration won't be hoisted. This means if you try to new a class before its declaration, you will get an error message. We can see the error message says we cannot access a class before its declaration. To create a class using class expression, you first need to create a variable. The variable name will be used as class name. Then you assign an anonymous class to the variable. The results of class declaration and expression are the same. In your future lessons, you'll learn how to create mix-in program. Class expression can be very helpful in your mix-in programs because it can help keep your code clean and concise. We have a constructor function here. It has 3 properties and 1 method. Let's recreate it using a class. First, we type the keyword class. Then we provide a class name, car class. Behind the class name, we put a set of curly brackets. We have a problem here. There is no parenthesis between the class name and class body. So how do we handle user-submitted property values? The solution is the constructor method. The constructor method does 2 things: declaring properties and assigning user-submitted values to them. We declare 2 arguments in the constructor method: engine and gearbox. Inside the constructor method, property names should be prefixed with this. This points to future instance objects. You can also declare properties with their own values. It is also okay to only declare a property and to not give it any value. But a property without a value will not be received by the instance object. Methods are defined outside the constructor method. We'll show you how to do it in the following lessons. Now let's create an instance object using the class. We store it in the car2 variable. Let's output the new instance object. We can see the new object has 3 properties. Brand has no value, so it won't be passed to the instance object. Engine and gearbox have received the values we set when we knew the class. Since a class is also a function, this means we can create static properties using it. Now, location is a static property. We can access it via the class name. Alternatively, we can access it via the constructor property.